Evening, y'all. I was going to do this live on a totally different subject, and then Mark Cuban had to open his mouth and say that Donald Trump is afraid of strong, independent women. That is about the most ridiculous, stupid thing I ever heard. If you just look at Donald Trump's career, he has surrounded himself with smart, independent, intelligent women. Going back to what is now Trump Tower, he put a woman in charge of making sure it got built at a time when women were not project managers. And he had the knowledge and faith that she would do a good job. So he put her in charge. She worked for him for 18 years after that. So, hey, Zach, I don't understand why people think that Donald Trump doesn't know or is afraid of strong, independent women. Look at Kimberly Guilfoyle. Kimberly Guilfoyle is dating Don Jr. and is engaged to him. Look at Kellyanne Conway, ran his 2016 campaign and got him elected president. This stuff is just outrageous. And I don't know where they get it from. Honestly, don't. Yeah, there's a whole list of strong, independent women that have worked for Trump. You know, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, um, what's her name? I can see her face. Um, but anyhow, there's just a long list of strong, independent women that have worked for him, that have high praise for him, that support him. Riley Gaines supports him. Candace Owens supports him. I'm just flabbergasted by that comment. And we have on another side of the spectrum is the, I have female friends that are Trump supporters. And if they knew that Mark Cuban was calling them unintelligent or not strong, not independent, this this is going to blow this election wide open. Between that and um, Biden saying that Donald Trump's supporters are garbage, I find that to be very offensive, and so do a lot of individuals. You know, it's mind blowing, and this is brought up earlier today. Is Joe Biden so mad at Kamala that he's trying to deep six her campaign? That was brought up earlier today. Is he purposely trying to deep six her campaign? Because there's so much bad blood between the two of them. Is it a possibility that Joe Biden is vindictive enough to put a wrench in her campaign because, according to the pollsters, when she went to the ellipse, she was getting ready to have some momentum behind her. And Joe Biden, while she was giving her speech, went on a Zoom call and said, the only garbage out there is Donald Trump and all of his supporters. And I'm just like, what? Because I know a lot of people that support Donald Trump, and I would not call any of them garbage. That's like saying half of this country is garbage, because it's literally half of the country that support Donald Trump. It's like something like close to 100 million individuals support Trump. Mind blowing how that these people are just willing to just throw anything at the wall. So how are you doing, Zach? Anybody else want to comment? I look forward to the comments and talk back and forth. Yeah, that's another thing. I was originally going to do this live about the continued incompetence of the Biden administration towards the people of Western North Carolina, because they still are not getting any help from Hurricane Helene. It's the local people that are going in there and making roads and taking supplies into people. There's a guy named Tim Gentry, owns Gentry and Sons Transportation, and he's taking his own truck and going states away and buying truckloads of generators and other supplies, and then he takes his own pickup truck and a trailer and puts a bobcat on it, and he goes, and if they can't get to the people, he makes a road to get to them. And FEMA is telling them, can you not hear me? Oh yeah, you hear my dog. He's running back and forth because I gave him a bone. And, Tim Gentry shows that the government and FEMA is not there. In fact, the FEMA official told the local, I don't know if he was some kind of elected official, and he told him to stand down and stop helping these people. And he told him, he said, you come and try and stop me. These are my people. My people are hurting. I'm helping my people. Get the hell out of my way. And I thought that was a very powerful statement, for this Democrat official to tell this guy who has people that are hurting, that, don't know where they're going to get stuff from, that he's not to help them, and he told him to get the hell out of his way, that he was helping his people. I thought that was pretty powerful. And it comes down to, and I hate to be crass like this, but that whole area is Republican. David Axelrod said, Asheville, North Carolina is a dot of blue in a sea of red. That's disgraceful that these people just say, well, they're Republicans, so what? And just leave them to fend for themselves. And it's people helping people that is getting them the help. People helping people. They're helping their neighbors, their loved ones. There's people that are, this one guy said that he has two entrances to his mountain cabin, and that it takes what normally used to take him 5 minutes down the road now takes him a half hour because he has to basically make his own road because of things. And there are landslides and mudslides continuing to this day. Continuing to this day because while the one guy was up there, while not the one guy, Gentry's brother was up there helping some of his friends, and he said the power lines started shaking and rumbling, and he said we had to get out of there. And Gentry was in his pickup truck, and he stopped to help this lady that the FEMA official told her, come on, come down this way, we'll pick you up. Brought her and her son in the middle of a field and walked off and left them there. And Gentry just happened to drive by and see her and her young son standing there, and stopped and started talking to her. And he said, come on, get in the back of my truck. I'll give you a ride. That kind of thing, if it gets out that FEMA is still not helping those people, I think Kamala is cooked. I don't like her anyhow, but if it gets out that here we are a month after Helene went through there and FEMA is still not helping, Kamala's done. At least that's my views. It's aggravating, isn't it, Zach? That here we are a month after the Hurricane Helene incident, and the people of Western North Carolina are still not getting help. That it's neighbors driving hours and hours away to get the supplies that the people need and coming back. Like Tim Gentry, he owns a construction and transportation outfit. He drives his own truck and trailer. You can go on his YouTube site, Gentry and Sons, and you can see he drives his own truck and trailer, drives it 4 to 6 hours away, and buys supplies and comes back and gives it away to the local people. I find that to be totally offensive. Because FEMA is supposed to do this. FEMA, when I drove a truck, this is, like 15, 20 years ago, FEMA would contract you to take RVs into disaster sites, and FEMA would set up neighborhoods with these RVs, and the people affected were allowed to live in the RV and not pay no rent until they got their life straightened out. No, the Red Cross is not helping. The Red Cross is not there. FEMA is not there. These people on the ground are literally doing everything themselves. You can go to Tim's YouTube page, Gentry and Sons, And he shows who's helping, who's not helping, and it's just basically neighbor helping neighbor is what it is. Neighbor helping neighbor. The government has just wrote them off, which I hope after the election, if Trump wins, that there'll be an investigation. Because, see, they took money from FEMA to pay for illegals to have housing in New York City. They spent millions and millions of the FEMA budget on that. And while Mayorkas says, oh, no, we didn't do that. Well, then how come there's $100 million missing from FEMA's budget? How come he went on and said FEMA is broke? Imagine that. This entity, I'll say government entity, that we pay for to be available during natural disasters. That's their job, to provide help during natural disasters. And then to find out that, well, what we're really doing is we're paying illegal aliens because we think they need more help than the American people. I find that so offensive and disgraceful, you know. And I know we're off subject of the live here, but you know, I find that to be disgraceful because there's money for everything else. We spent billions and billions of dollars on Ukraine. And I'm going to be doing a live later on about Ukraine because there's some new news that I heard about that's really offensive, and it deserves its own live because, you know, I care about the people of Ukraine, but there has to be a line. There has to be a saying of, okay, so how does this affect us? Why are we telling Ukraine they can attack sites within Russia? Yeah, it's going to be in like about a half hour. Well, it's 5:15 now, so I want to do it at 6 o'clock. I got to get some information together. It's going to take me like 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll be right back. So let me get that ready, and I'll end this live stream, but at 6 o'clock my time, which is in 45 minutes, I'll be back. Okay? Yeah, I know it's not what happened last time, but I promise you I'm going to be here because this is something that I care about. Ukraine is something that I care about, and I'll tell you why, and we'll go through it. And let me end this and get some stuff together, and I'll be right back. Okay? Thank you, Zach.